afternoon, good morning, good day, good evening, good night, whatever it may be. Miriam the Levite here again with you. I just wanted to talk today a little bit about a conversation I heard last night on Timcast IRL. I follow Tim Pool. I think he's pretty amazing for his age. He's had a great deal of experience, worldly experience, and he was pretty wise and has a lot of insight. So he and his guest, I cannot for the life of me remember his name right now, but he and his guest were having a conversation about God and what they think God is. The interesting thing is that everybody in the room, they all, like, nobody has any particular identity when it comes to their faith, which is totally fine. Everyone's allowed to have that, right? So, but what came up was, do you believe that God is real? Do you believe that you have a soul and that when you die, your soul continues to exist? It was a really interesting conversation, and I would love to have been a part of it, but I'm not famous, so and Tim Pool doesn't have any idea who I am, so whatever. It's all good. Anyway, what they were talking about was what if God is just like a fifth dimensional being that's just a lot more advanced than we are? And I've heard that theory before a lot. For me personally, God has more to do with an action versus a being. I don't look at God as a being, as a being. I look at God as an action. I look at God as more of a way of being, a doing, an understanding, or a way of speaking. And so I look at the word God as a verb, not a noun. It's what we do, and it's the influence that propels us forward, and the intention that we put into things. I think it's really important for people to realize and understand that what we do on this planet does have an impact. It does make a difference. Even if it's a very small impact or a very small difference on a very small scale, that's fine. Every single human being on the planet has an impact. And how we impact the world that we live in is what matters. More than anything, it's what matters. It's not about, the things that we amass or the accomplishments, the trophies that we win or the obstacles that we've overcome. Because you can't really take anything other than your experiences with you. Everything else stays. And as my sister, who's been out here for the last 4 days, she just left today. But as the two of us have dealt with in the last 4 days, going through mom and dad's house, getting rid of a lot of junk because you can't take it with you. And my parents, I don't want to call them hoarders per se, because they really weren't that bad, but they were bad enough. I've seen some hoarders' houses that are pretty scary, and my parents wasn't that. So I'm grateful for that. But I think what's really interesting is when you look back through all those things, the junk, and it makes you think about, maybe what was going through that person's mind, why they wanted to save this. And it made me actually start to kind of reassess myself in my holding on to things. And I think I've held on to some things in my life that I could probably have gotten rid of. I've been holding on to all of the equipment from my 5-chair salon that I closed down literally 9 years ago. Well, 8.5 years ago. And I haven't sold any of it, and I haven't just thrown away, because you just don't know. And it got me to thinking, but we do know. We actually do know. It's not the not knowing that we hold on to. Maybe we'll use it. I think it's more of the hope that we have that we will do it. I think that's what it is more than anything. And holding on to that hope. You throw out those, those stupid latch hook rugs that you said you were going to do when you were 8 years old, and here you are in your 40s and you still haven't done them. But you've been carrying them around with you for, 40 years. It's the hope. And if you throw it away, somehow you feel like you maybe are losing some of that hope. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. When you look at holding on to a relationship because it's an over 40-year relationship, but in that whole relationship, there's always been this uneasiness, this uncomfortableness. You can't quite put your finger on it. And then a disagreement happens, and there's a wedge that's drawn. And then you find out that wedge can't come out because the other person has decided that that was more than what they were okay with. You get sad about, the loss of the relationship, especially one that has literally been in your life since you were 4. And it's a relationship with some people that you really actually looked up to. But there's always been this little hint of an uncomfortable uneasiness. And at first you're sad, you're angry, because this person has made a choice, and that choice is to walk away from you. You look at, could you have done something differently? Could you have said something differently? Could you have not said something? But the reality is that if I had ever done that, not said, just taken it, even though I don't agree with their position on something, then I wouldn't be honoring myself, and I wouldn't be true to myself and what my beliefs are. And I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't dishonor myself for the sake of a relationship that has always been a little uncomfortable. I'm going to stay true to myself. I'm going to stay true to my truth and my way of life and what I believe to be right and wrong. No harm, no foul. I don't think ill of this person in any way, shape, or form. I never have, and I never will. But at the same time, I have to move on with my life, and I can't hold myself down because I want to hold on to a relationship that's obviously being severed for a reason. Okay. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. I can't take on the responsibility of somebody else's thoughts, actions, feelings. I did that for too many years, and I'm not doing it anymore, because for me, at this point in my life, this is all about me actually being able to do and honor me. And doing and honoring me looks like giving my wisdom to the world. It looks like writing and drawing and creating and making space for myself, carving a niche out for myself in this world that stands to make a difference. Why? Because I've lived through hell. I absolutely have. Still somewhat to a certain extent living through it, because I'm not quite out. But I've learned a lot, and I've written about it throughout the hell that I've lived. And I don't pretend to be an expert on anything. I don't even pretend to be an expert on myself, because I'm constantly learning more about myself. I do claim to have insight. I do claim to have wisdom, because I know I do. And I do claim that it is worthy. And it has nothing to do with arrogance. It has nothing to do with my ego. It has to do with being driven to do this, being called to usher in this new era. And regardless of what side of the political fence anyone sits on, no one can deny that we are in a very, very, very big battle right now. And it's not just here, it's worldwide. This battle is worldwide, and I aim to affect it in some way. Whatever that capacity may be has yet to be revealed to me, and that's okay. I just know it's been revealed to me that this is my life's work from here on out. I spent the first 25 years of my career as a hairdresser. I will spend, if I'm lucky, the next 25 years affecting real change in this world through my talks, my art, my writing, my inspirations, my great little one-liners that I come up with. Those are the things that I think are really going to make a difference. And I recognize the impact that I can and will have on this planet, on humanity. And even if that's just in my small little corner of the world, that's okay. I'm good with it. I don't have to be an international anything. I don't even have to be a national. I'd like to be a regional something. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. And I'd be humbled in that. But this is what I aim to do. You think about God as the verb and not the noun. Think about the actions instead of a being that is going to somehow save you, or that some kind of miracle is going to come out of the sky and give you everything that you want, everything that you need. No, I don't believe in a God that way. I don't believe in a God that is all vengeful or all loving kindness or anything like that, because that's putting human attributes on something that is an action. It's an action. I can see God in my animals by how they play. I can see God in the clouds in the sky by how they move. I can see God in the most beautiful of paintings, in how that evokes emotion and thought. So I don't see God as a being. I see God as a verb. It's an action. It's a doing. And with that, I'm going to say ta-ta for now. TTFN. If you like what I'm doing, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Yeah, and more stuff will be coming as soon as I, can move through this life. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.